Hey YouTube, what's up? So I decided to start making a series that absolutely no one asked for, but picture it. You're in your car, you're listening to the radio, you got your hands out the window, you're vibing with your friends, and the classic Boyfriend by Justin Bieber comes on the radio. You're on your way to drive around your empty high school parking lot. You're not thinking about drama, you're not thinking about TikTok. The year, you guessed it, is 2012, the best year ever. In this essay, I will be discussing 12 pop albums that came out in the year of 2012. I think we can all agree that music that comes on the radio nowadays is rap or something that's trending on TikTok. And fine, whatever, I don't care, love it. Like, I'll jam. I think we need to take a step back and realize how good we had it. So I'm gonna be ranking each of these albums based on some criteria. I'm gonna give them each a score out of 10. I will be discussing, lyrically how the albums compare. I will be discussing the music in general, so the production and the vibes. I will also discuss which songs were singles, whether I think that makes sense or not. And then I might discuss music videos, the era in general, but mostly, how iconic everything was in 2012. So it's gonna be a ride. And then I also need to make a big disclaimer right now. These are my opinions, okay? It's the albums that I like the best and how much I like them. That doesn't mean that it's correct, and obviously you're gonna have different opinions than me. I already know. I've taken immense notes on each album. I tried my best, but I'm not gonna satisfy everyone, and I already know some of my opinions you're gonna hate, and I don't care because this was an awesome year. And when I say that something was in 12th place, I don't mean it sucks. I mean that it was my 12th favorite, okay? That's all I can say. So I'm gonna tell you the 12 albums because I think that's fair. I want you to know what we're getting into. I want you to know what the options are before I tell you the ranking, because I think that there were a lot of albums that I could have put in here, and I didn't because I didn't want to be unfair. Can we get a drum roll, please? The drum roll will be sipping my iced coffee. Okay, we have, in no particular order, Born to Die by Lana Del Rey, Night Visions by Imagine Dragons, The Truth About Love by Pink. We have Unapologetic by Rihanna. We have Overexposed by Maroon 5. Take Me Home, the Yearbook Edition by One Direction. Unorthodox Jukebox by Bruno Mars. I always say jukebox wrong. I don't know. Anyway. DNA by Little Mix. Warrior by Kesha. Pink Friday Roman Reloaded by Nicki Minaj. Believe by Justin Bieber, and Red by Taylor Swift. All of these debuted, were released, not the singles, the full album was released within the year of 2012. I have a leaderboard, and I'm going to reveal each album starting from 12 to 1 as time goes on. And it's gonna be like, woo, what's it gonna be? What's behind door number 12? So, let's bring the leaderboard up. In 12th place, with a 6.8 out of 10, is Warrior by Kesha. Let's talk about Die Young for a second. It's a good song. It is. It's good. It's just, it was problematic when it came out, unfortunately. And it wasn't really reaching the demographic that I think Kesha would want to reach with that song. Obviously, that wasn't she wasn't trying to be insensitive at all. That wasn't her fault at all. I'm sure that song was written way before. But, what can you do? That's part of the album. That's part of my judging process. But it's an iconic song, and I'm jamming to it right now. Come On, the other pre-release single, so fucking good. Ooh, pop perfection. I'm gonna say that a lot, pop perfection. And what I mean by pop perfection is that it has the jam, it has the bopness, it has the sway. You feel the perfection in your mind. You feel pop. It pops. It's textbook definition of pop music. Unpopular opinion, I don't like Crazy Kids that much. I just don't like it. The auto-tune, I mean, I have to say it. You guys know. They ruined her. Ruined her. She wanted to do more with her music, and she was still being held back with the production issues that are not her fault at all. But I'm not judging Kesha. I'm not judging her as a whole, her as a person, her as an artist entirely. I'm judging this album, and that is largely going to be swayed by the production and other people. So that's why she gets a 6.8, because there's too many different vibes on the album. There's too much EDM, like, ruining it. There's too much auto-tune ruining her voice. And there are a couple songs on there that really don't go with the vibe. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of different vibes competing with each other. So, back to the leaderboard. What's gonna be behind door number 11? Alyssa, show us. Alright, so in 11th place, with a score of 7.5, we have Born to Die by Lana Del Rey. Let me explain, okay? I don't listen to Lana Del Rey. I gotta be honest. And it's my one flaw. Yep, that's my one flaw, is that I don't listen to Lana Del Rey. I know the songs that are on the radio. Unpopular opinion? I mean, I don't know if this is unpopular or not. I'm sure it's unpopular amongst Lana fans, but the radio edit of Summertime Sadness is just better, you know, in a pop music lens. The original one is great. I love it, but I like the radio one better. I mean, that's just me. So in terms of cohesiveness, this album is wicked cohesive because of her singing style. However, it doesn't really vary a lot. I think that knowing what she sounds like in later albums, I know she has much more range than she shows on this album. The lyrics are amazing. Conceptually, there's a lot of unique storylines in here, but they all need a little bit more. Individually, the songs are a little one-noted. Like, within the song, it has some cool vibes, but they don't go up and down. It doesn't have any of those beat drops. She has, like, electronics in the background, but it's nothing, like, boom. Like, it's not like, whoa, you know? It's not like that. However, between the songs, like, if you're comparing the songs to each other, they are very different, which I was surprised by. I was kind of expecting them all to kind of sound the same pretty much, but, you know, there is some variation. However, it's not very memorable to me. The only one that's really memorable, iconic, is Dark Paradise. I love that song. That's such a good song. I just want to say one more thing about Lana. I enjoy her as an indie artist, okay? But this is the top pop albums from 2012. I don't know, maybe this album's just ahead of its time, because I think a lot of pop music nowadays has indie influences, and this one just, 2012, we weren't there yet. This one's not pop perfection. And that's why I got a 7.5, but it's still above Warriors, so, like, calm down. So going back to the leaderboard again, what is behind door number 10? In 10th place, we have DNA by Little Mix with a 7.8. Now, I love Little Mix, like, to death. Like, when are they going to come to America? Who knows? I don't know. I need a sip. We all know how amazing they are at singing. And I really didn't think that I was going to rate this one this low, because I love them, and so many songs on this album are so good. But the rest aren't, and that's the tea. This is their first full album, and you can tell. Okay, you can tell. Their voices obviously sound younger, which, duh, but we knew how good of singers they were. Like, they were doing, like, incredible runs and incredible ad-libs and, like, showing their vocal range on X Factor. So where is that on this album? Like, where, like, please show me. I know, I'm sure they were trying to make their first album, like, not, like, too crazy, but you can tell that this is their first album. They're still trying to find their sound. There's too many vibes going on. It's a lot. A lot of the songs are amazing. Like, the self-love songs are great. Like, Wings, We Are Who We Are, and How You Doing. Those are, like, iconic. They should have stuck with that vibe. And the rest of the album is, like, Where Do You Belong? DNA, pop, perfection, text, book, DNA. Wow, so good. Going Nowhere, iconic song, but that belongs on Salute. The lyrics, they aren't great. They have some good lines, but it's nothing revolutionary. None of the concepts are, like, super unique. They're great, but they're not unique. The singles, they chose I don't know what other songs they would have. I mean, I guess Change Your Life really didn't need to be one, but Wings, DNA, and How You Doing are the best songs on that album, so makes sense, you know? So yeah, that's why they got a 7.8. In, where are we on? 9th place? Okay, 9th place with a 7.9 out of 10. So we're almost at an 8. Wow. Bring up the leaderboard. So number 9 is The Truth About Love by Pink. Let's talk about why I gave Pink and that album a 7.9, because it's a good album. All of these are great albums, as I said. Don't know how many times I'm gonna have to reiterate that. Blow Me One Last Kiss. Blow Me One Last fucking Kiss is the best. It changed the world. That might be a huge statement, but this is Pink's best pop song. It is so good. Everyone jams to it. Young, old, middle, everyone jams to it, okay? But nothing else on this album compares. Blow Me One Last Kiss is the only one that blows me one last kiss. The rest of them, no kisses. There's some iconic songs on here. There's some blah songs on here, and that doesn't help it out. Okay, so let's talk about scoring. Lyrics, good, not amazing, you know. Music, amazing, but not perfect. What are you gonna do about it? Choose a vibe, Pink. So yeah, I gave it a 7.9. It's not incredible, but it's pretty good. Blow Me One Last Kiss is the showstopper. Very true to Pink for the most part, but it's not what I'm looking for. Okay. So we need to go back to the leaderboard. So we have Warrior, then Born to Die, then DNA, then Truth About Love. So what's gonna be number 8? And fittingly, at number 8, with a score of 8, is Pink Friday, Roman Reloaded version by Nicki Minaj. This album is good, okay? It's just, there's some legends on this fucking list. There are. Let me just tell you that this album has a handful of bops, like a handful. Listen, the good thing about this album is that it's like half rap. Well, it's not, it's more than half rap, but it's like half fully rap and half like her singing. And Nicki can sing, okay? She has a beautiful voice when she's like really singing and there's no auto-tune and it's not like trying to make her sound like something she's not. Like, she has a great singing voice. And this album has a lot of songs where she's just singing, you know? And like on this album, unpopular opinion, the ones where she's singing are like stronger than the rap songs. Maybe it's just because the ones where she's singing are like the bops, like Starships, Pound the Alarm. This is what I wrote about Pound the Alarm. Pound the Alarm exemplifies 2012 dance party music. The song Marilyn Monroe, if you haven't heard it, listen to it, because it's very adventurous for Nicki. It's not a ballad, but it's a slow bop, you know? And her voice sounds so beautiful on it, so take a listen to that. There are a lot of unique songs on this album that don't follow basic rap tropes. Roman Holiday freaks me out, but it's iconic. Va Va Voom is honestly underrated, okay? Like, Starships, obviously, platinum, right? But Va Va Voom should at least be gold. I feel like people consider it bronze, and it's fucking gold. The lyrics, not great. She has way better raps later on. The music is not super cohesive since it has that high concentration of her doing, like, just singing. And some songs have, like, confusing vibes, I wrote. I don't really know what that means. I guess I was just like, what is going on? But yeah, the singles, pop perfection. Overall, I think this is a good album. The rap could be stronger, as I said, and I love that she sings, but those are basic bops, okay? So let's go back to the leaderboard. Number 7, we're jumping from 8 to an 8.5. Wow. In 7th place, we have Unapologetic by Rihanna. So good. Let's talk about why it's only an 8.5. Diamonds took the whole pop music industry to a whole new level, okay? We all know that songs can get overplayed on the radio, and yes, it was overplayed. However, I vividly remember never changing the channel when it came on. It is a good message, it's unique, her voice is beautiful. This album also shows Rihanna's range. Like, oh, the range from falsetto to full belt. It's so good, and it's cohesive, okay? All of these songs on here belong on here. A lot of the EDM stuff is the same. You gotta switch it up. Like, you can't use the same beat. Most of these songs that use that same-ish beat, like, they're not exactly the same, but they're, like, pretty similar. And most of the songs that have it, like, they deserve to be unique from each other. Add a different instrument, and then the song will be different, and I'll remember the difference between them, okay? But I think we need to talk about one song on this album that is the best song, and that is What Now? It's the masterpiece of this album. It is the lead singer of this album. It's like Take a Bow, but like grown up, you know? And then it has that little EDM in the background, but it's not like overpowering. I just had to get that out of the way. Stay, incredible, incredible. You never see a ballad like that get overplayed on the radio. Like, you hear it on the radio, but then they're like, oh, this doesn't work, and they don't overplay it. It's overplayed because it deserves it. I would never skip Stay either. Are you kidding me? Me skipping Stay on the radio? That's not happening. Now, we also need to talk about Nobody's Business. Yikes. I can't give it the light of day, even though I would have if the circumstances were different. If there was no feature. Let's see. Has unique concepts, some good lines, but nothing like revolutionary, so I'm not going to give it a 10 for lyrics. The music, you know, I said, too much of the same EDM. It's overkill. They deserve their own uniqueness. Singles, Diamond Stay and What Now are amazing. The others are meh, but like, at least she picked the right singles and just added some that didn't really need to be. Overall, the cohesiveness of the album gets major points, but the EDM overkill, okay? And there are some songs on there that I don't really like that much. I don't hate them, but like, I'm like, nah, whatever, skip, you know? So yeah, it got an 8.5, and that's pretty fucking good. 85, that's a B. So 6th place, it only went up 0.1, so an 8.6 is Night Visions by Imagine Dragons. Ooh. Okay, let's talk about it. This album changed the pop game as well, okay? Because Radioactive blew everyone's minds. Whoo, so good. The beat drops, it's what we needed. It's what I needed. It's what I was looking for. Listen, Demons, same thing. Tiptoe and Amsterdam should have been singles. They have like a kind of a similar vibe to Its Time, which I don't like on Top of the World. I think it's weird. But that's just me because I like the raw, like, rockness of Imagine Dragons. I think besides the singles, none of them are, like, huge bops. Besides, I think, like, Tiptoe and Amsterdam. Ooh, so good. But yeah, they're not there. They're not Radioactive. They're not Its Time. They're not Demons. They're not. Yeah, and then, like, you know, I have to dock it points for not being pure pop because, look, I'm looking for the best pop album in 2012. It's not textbook. It's really not. And, you know, you can do a twist on pop that's still textbook, you know, which, you know, some higher up albums will have that I'll discuss. But this one wasn't enough. Like, it's unique, but it doesn't say, like, you all need to release more music like this. But that's also what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the envelope to be pushed to a place where everyone's following, okay? That's what I'm looking for. So, that was Night Visions by Imagine Dragons in 6th place. Let's talk about what's in 5th place. Now, we're gonna get in some really great territory right now. I'm about to geek out. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to geek out. Turn on geek mode, please. Bring up the leaderboard, someone. Behind door number 5 is Believe by Justin Bieber. I said what I said. We're gonna talk about it. Don't worry. If you don't like Justin Bieber, fine. I don't care. But these are some of the best pop songs I've ever heard. And that's powerful. This album also exemplifies pop perfection of 2012 textbook. As Long As You Fucking Love Me is the best song on this planet. As a fan of pop music, this is a song that every single other pop song needs to take note of, okay? Every single song needs to understand that As Long As You Love Me has no flaw. The grass ain't always greener on the other side. It's green where you water it. I can't. When it comes on, I feel something. Okay? And speaking of feeling something, when you listen to a Justin Bieber song, Boyfriend, it is so good. Maria is Billie Jean 2.0. Like, can you believe that he addressed that? He did not have to address that. That was fan service. A service to us all. Michael Jackson did not have to do that either. And yet he did. And it was iconic. Now, we need to talk about the flaws, okay? There are flaws, always. None of these, like I said, got a 10 out of 10. So there will always be flaws. The reason why it got an 8.8 out of 10 and not anything higher is because there are a couple of songs on this album that do not belong on this album, and I'm not going to name them. And the lyrics, nothing special. Beauty and a Beat is iconic. Wait a minute. Beauty and a Beat? I didn't even say... Gotta keep an eye out for Selena. And yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Again, I'm not a Justin stan, but it sounds like I am. Number 4, let's bring up that leaderboard. We love her. An 8.8 out of 10. The next one has an 8.9 out of 10. And the rest of these are very close. But number 4 is Take Me Home, Yearbook Edition by One Direction. It is very important that it's the Yearbook Edition, okay? Because some of the best songs ever are the bonus tracks on the Yearbook Edition. I'm a Directioner. Okay, Nile Girls, where are you? Listen to me. Come on. She's Not Afraid. I Would. Heart Attack. Back for You. Loved You First. Pop perfection. Okay? They are so good. And if you do not like One Direction, it's gonna be hard for you right now because I'm about to geek. The album is very cohesive. It is bubblegum pop. It is their second album, and you can tell. It's not mature yet. They chose the wrong singles. Live While We're Young and Kiss You. Why are those singles? Come On. Back for You should have been fucking sing. Are you kidding me? At least Come On. Unpopular opinion time. Okay, and I need to get myself situated for this because I'm gonna get a lot of hate. And I don't care because it's my opinion. So obviously we all have our own opinions. And some of my favorite songs are some of people's least favorite and vice versa. And I'm about to talk about 2 songs on here that I think are overrated. And that is Over Again and They Don't Know About Us. I'm not saying they're bad. I love those songs. But they're not as great as everyone says they are. I can understand why other people like them. I think that Over Again lyrically is amazing. However, they didn't write it. Ed Sheeran wrote it. So what did you expect? If that was an Ed Sheeran song, that's different. If Ed Sheeran sang Over Again, so good, but they had no place singing that song. I just need you to know what my favorite song is, and it may well be my favorite One Direction song, which is extremely hard to articulate if you're a fan. My favorite is Loved You Fucking First, okay? Because that song is above all. When that song comes on, I am instantly happy. I am instantly ear to ear smiling. I am instantly cured of everything. That song is God. So now we need to talk about why it's number 4 and not number 1 like I'm making it sound out to be, okay? It's not number 1 because the lyrics are not unique. The concepts are not unique. Like I said, it's slightly above JB because of the cohesion. Every single song on this belongs here. Even Summer Love, it belongs there. Where else would you put her? So yeah, that's Take Me Home Yearbook Edition by One Direction in 4th place. Okay, back to the leaderboard, bitches. Number 3 with a 9 out of 10, we have Bruno Mars, Unorthodox Jukebox. Are we kidding? First of all, first and foremost, we need to discuss this title. Like, are you kidding me? I don't think that I ever realized until I was, like, listening to this album full. I was like, that's such a random name. No. All of these songs are on an unorthodox jukebox. Like, are we kidding me here? Do you not see this concept? They're so good. They are pop perfection, and they are not textbook, but they do it right. As I was saying before, these songs push the envelope of what textbook pop music is, and now everything following it is taking it into account. 1, there's only 10 songs on the album. Bruno, I need more unorthodox jukebox songs. Second of all, Locked Out of Heaven and Treasure changed the fucking game. No one who listened to the radio would ever feel the same after they listened to those songs. Everyone was grooving. Everyone was moving. His voice is so good. He can do the staccato. He can do the runs. He can do it all. Gorilla, Moonshine, groovy as hell. Natalie, chef's fucking kiss. Oh my God. When I Was Your Man, listen. You don't know me, and you will get to know me soon, because I am the biggest sucker for a ballad. I love to fucking cry. If you can write a song that can make me bawl my eyes out, how good does that song have to be? It has to be amazing. This song came out when I was fucking 14. There is no way that I related to When I Was Your Man. Boys had never even spoken to me when I was 14. And yet I was so fucking sad and pissed at Bruno for treating me wrong. The lyrics, you know, they're pretty good. There's unique concepts on here, and when he does go over the super basic concepts, he still has a unique twist on it. The music, it's iconic pop in a different way, like I said. It changed the way that we consumed pop music and the way that pop musicians created their music. I said what I said. Overall, good album. Love the concept that is the title. He really did that by bringing some of that vintage sound back, okay? I think he could have pushed it a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, I really do. I've been raving this whole time, but A, there was only 10 songs. Bruno, come on. Pink Friday had 22 songs. And there are some things in here that make it not as good as the number 2 and the number 1. And I will discuss those when I discuss number 2 and number 1. And there are only 2 albums left, and you've been paying attention. You know which 2 those are. So you either hate me or you love me right now. So let's reveal which one's number 2 and thus which one's number 1, because you can't do that without the other. Ha ha. Okay. On the leaderboard, we have number 2 at a score of 9.1, so only like slightly above Unorthodox Jukebox, is Overexposed by Maroon 5. I need to tell you something. I love Maroon 5. And this album is the last perfect album by them. And this is where they transitioned into pop music. And I think that they transitioned a little too hard. But this album is so good. Every single song on this album is a bop or a slow bop or a ballad, or it's just feel-good, wholesome song. Due to the transition, it's a little bit not cohesive. Like, every song on this album belongs there, okay? I wouldn't put them anywhere else, and I still think that it flows, but there are a couple competing vibes, and I'm okay with it. Like, the vibes are cohesive, if that makes sense. You know, they're different vibes, but they're still cohesive with each other, okay? Okay. One More Night, Love Somebody, Payphone. You've heard every single one of those. Daylight, you've heard it. You know it. You love it. Payphone took the world by fucking storm. There is not a single human, in America at least, that does not know this song. Lyrically, this album's fucking good. There's some concept. I need you to listen to this album. I have a feeling that you haven't listened. Back to Payphone. Like I was saying, everyone on this planet knows that song, and I vividly remember it being overplayed for 2 years, maybe even 3. What else? What else can I say? Daylight? Anthemic. That's what I wrote. Anthemic. Lucky Strike. Rock vibes to the max. Lady Killer. Groovy vibes to the max. Are we kidding? And then there is The holy grail that is The Man Who Never Lied. Listen to that song. Sad. I talked about how much of a sucker I am for ballads. This is one of the saddest songs I've ever heard in my life. Maybe not Falling by Harry Styles level, but Wipe Your Eyes is the sad bop that I've needed my whole life. Doing Dirt, textbook. Ooh, I can't say it enough. Textbook. Really good concepts. Really good. Just not a 10 for lyrics. Music, are we kidding? Bop after bop. It even includes a sad bop. It even includes a perfect ballad for me. I still think that the rock vibe songs could have had a little bit more rock, and the sad could have had a little bit more sad, and like everything, but so good. The singles, yes. Overall, so good. But again, room for improvement. It's not a 10. Even this number 1 didn't get a 10, okay? Let's just do it, okay? Let's just put up the leaderboard and let's just fill in number 1. It's Red by Taylor Swift. I have a few things to say, okay? This album obviously was Taylor's transition from country to pop. I think we need to go beyond this rating to explain one thing. Red is also Taylor's best album. And like I said, this is my opinion and my thoughts. I don't expect you to agree with me on everything. And I wasn't even a Taylor stan during this time. Low key, I went through a phase where I didn't like her because she was dating Harry Styles. Like, come on. First of all, she wrote it when she was 22. I'm 22, as you can see, okay? And I think that I really needed to be 22 to listen to this album. And now listening to it and listening to it for the 80 millionth time to do this video, I could have given it a 10, but I didn't. I gave it a 9.3. I do still think that it wouldn't be fair because there are some songs on here that are not fully pop. There are no bad songs on this album. There are some that fall flat. There are some that aren't my favorite, but there are no bad songs, and those songs that fall flat are only missing one thing. This album is a soundtrack to a movie, a romance movie, to be exact. I am one of those people that listens to songs and comes up with music videos in my head, and I have one for every single song in this album. And when you know an album is good and cohesive, those scenes connect. All of the videos that I made up in my mind, they all follow one story. Is it country or is it pop? Who knows? Who cares? It is so mature. It is so perplexing. It is so well-rounded. It has something for everyone. It has something that ticks off all of the pop perfection boxes. It is not bubblegum pop. Just like Unorthodox Jukebox, it pushes the envelope. This is one of the best songs lyrically, albums lyrically, ever. And Taylor's best song of all time is on this album. The next thing I want to talk about is I Knew You Were Trouble, period. Every single goddamn human vibes to that song. I did not relate. You probably do not relate, but you love it. You bop to it. You dance, you move, you sing, you shout that song. The beat drops, they get you every time. We need to talk about something that is very important. The best song ever written. The most lyrically flawless song is All Too Well. If you're watching this and you hate Taylor Swift, I don't care if you don't really like her, you don't really enjoy it, whatever. I mean, you can do this too. But if you hate her and you think her music is bad, like you hate her music, I need you to go and listen to All Too Well right now. I need you to pause. Okay, hi, you're back? Okay. Do you still hate her music? If you do, the only logical explanation is that you're having a nightmare. I need you to wake up. Wake up. Hello. Wake up. That song is a fucking story. It's a storybook. It has a beginning. It has a middle. It has an end. It has chapters. And we all want that 12-minute version. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here. Before you lost the one real thing you've ever known. Moving on, we are never getting back together. Like ever. That song is revolutionary. We Are Never Getting Back Together is anthemic. 22 props. Are you kidding me? Like every single person, including myself, says, I don't know about you. Instagram caption, that's world changing. Even people who don't like Taylor Swift do that. Are you kidding me? Happy, free, confused, and lonely at the same time? Absolutely. Absolutely, that's how I feel. That's how I feel, Taylor, yes. This is the best pop album of 2012. You heard it here, folks. So we'll talk about scoring, okay? I didn't give it a 10, okay? Because it's not pure pop. It does have country influences. It does have some acoustic vibes. It's not bubble gum. 10 for lyrics. Absolutely 10. Best lyrics I've ever heard in my life. Music and production. Cinematography gone wild. Are you kidding me? Like I said, it's a romance movie. It could use a little bit more though. There are those songs that fall a little bit flat that could use a little bit more. So I still gave it a 9, okay? The singles, amazing choices. Could not have chosen any better. I also need to do a special mention to State of Fucking Grace, masterpiece. I just want to conclude this by saying that I would die for pop music. It is so good. And the fact that I didn't rate any of these below a 6.8, and I want you to comment down below which albums from 2012, whether they're on my list or not, are your favorite. I'd love to know ones that I forgot that you're obsessed with. Not forgot, I didn't forget. The reason I'm doing this series is to remember the simpler times when music was amazing. It still is, but like, so I really hope you enjoyed this. I don't know why I'm so angry right now. That was iconic. Thank you so much for watching. Give the video a like. Subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna be doing more. I love music. That's like all I ever talk about in my free time anyway. Let me know if you have any ideas, any albums you want me to do from 2013. I already have a list, but like open to suggestions, like of course. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope my anger and my over-exaggeration of everything didn't like murder you. And I hope you have an amazing day, and do not forget, when you're listening to the radio, do not forget what we had.